Watch the rush.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode number 2 of Huddle Up with the Huskies. Thank you so much for tuning in. In case you missed episode 1 or you were just tuning into episode 2, the purpose of this podcast is to connect with you guys, with the Husky football fans, wherever you may be. We know that it's been a difficult time for everybody during the pandemic, and it's been difficult for the club as well. So this is a way to connect and to raise money for the team. I am your host, Holly Lynden. So glad to have you along. And on this podcast, we are going to get to know some of the new and returning players on the team. And I had such a great time chatting with these guys and getting to know them a little bit and find out how they've been coping and what they're looking forward to this season. But first, Great Western Brewery, quick hitter. He is no stranger to the province of Saskatchewan or to the Huskies. He was a former colleague of mine at TSN, and he is now your play-by-play announcer for the team. I am talking about none other than Mr. Ray Morrison, and he is now going to give us an update on how the Dogs are doing so far in this young season.
Well, the 31-14 preseason win over the Manitoba Bisons was interesting on a couple of notes. Like Scott Flory said after the game, the head coach of the Huskies, he said, we know Adam Mackert can run. And obviously, when you are a Heck Crichton winner, or at least a runner-up for that award, everybody knows that he can run. And he did have a great day. 6 carries, 81 yards in the first half of that football game. So he was all over that. And I think that also proved that even though there was some turnover on the offensive line, that offensive line is still going to be very good this year. So I think in the first half, when the starters were in that football game, I think Scott Flory basically saw what he wanted to see from his offense, especially. They can run. And again, Mason Nyhus, the Regina product, the quarterback, can distribute the football really, really well. And there's some exciting players on that offense with Colton Clausen that fans are looking forward to seeing. The other thing about a player like Colton Clausen is these guys who have been to CFL camps like Colton was and has come back, not only do they bring experience on the field, but they also bring what they learned from CFL camps. And that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing out of all the Canada West teams, to be totally honest with you. But Colton's experience with the Montreal Alouettes, he talks about that with great satisfaction. So the fact that he can bring some of that information back is good. And of course, there's no shortage of experience on this coaching staff with CFL knowledge either, with Scott Flory, Warren Musica, a 1999 Grey Cup champion, and of course the former Toronto Argo Dwayne Demetrician is on this coaching staff as well. So that's intriguing. But 8-6 at the half, it wasn't until the third quarter and the fourth quarter that the Huskies really opened this thing up. And there are some young players, I think, that were pretty exciting to watch. Everett Iverson, 3 catches for 53 yards and a touchdown. He ran some nice routes when backups like Ethan Watson were in at quarterback. That was exciting to see. And Red Vavra, a couple of big plays downfield, 2 catches for 87 yards. So that was nice to see as well. So not only is the future of this Husky football team good for this year and next year, but perhaps beyond that, when you see some of the depth, when you consider that it was a 2-point game going into the half, and then they really did open things up. There's been a lot of discussion as well about the schedule. It's a little bit of a tough schedule. Scott Flory's not making excuses, though. He's not making excuses at all. But think about having to go into Calgary week 1, where the last 10 Hardy Cup games have been played. So that game to kick off the season at McMahon is going to be intriguing. And then, of course, October 1st, it's a trip to UBC as well. But if you think about that and the talent that is on this Husky football team, and coaches don't think like this. So you can't go to a coach and say, hey, you okay with the split? No coach will tell you that going into 2 games on the road. But even if the Huskies are 1-1, you think about that in this 6-game season that has been shortened because of COVID, you have 3 or 4 at home down the stretch. So there's a real opportunity there for the University of Saskatchewan Huskies. But there is no question about it. It is very tough out of the gate. But it is going to be a very interesting season right across the board. So many talented players. Des Catelier was on the field for that non-conference game for the Manitoba Bisons, and he's got something to prove. He wants to take his team to a Hardy Cup as well, and there's many players on every team that wants to do that. So it is going to be interesting. But from a Huskies perspective, you talk to a lot of these players, the words unfinished business, that always comes to mind when you talk about the returnees like Colton Clausen and like Adam Mackert in the backfield. So it is going to be a very interesting year as far as this U of S Husky football team is concerned, for sure.
Thank you, Ray, for that. And we're going to hear lots more from Ray in the remaining podcast. He's going to tell us more about the team. Next up, I got to sit down with some of the returning players and the new players on this squad. And we talked about how they kept themselves mentally and physically ready to play through this very unusual time, who their biggest influence is so far in their lives, and what they like to do when they're not playing football. And surprisingly, the answer was not playing video games. So it was a real treat for me to talk to them all, and I hope that you find it a real treat as well. And I'm joined now by 3 new players coming to the Huskies this season. Very excited to have on the panel. We have Nick Wiebe, we have Daniel Wiebe, and we have Fin Marcotte-Cribb. Welcome to the podcast and welcome to the team.
Thanks for having us.
So I'm going to start with a little one-on-one with each of you in turn, and then we're going to do a little rapid-fire questions. And I gave those to you, so you're not going to be wondering what to say. I'm expecting spectacular answers from all of you. Okay, let's start with Daniel. Daniel, you're a receiver. You grew up on a farm in Herschel, and then you lived in Rosetown. And then you moved to Saskatoon, went to Holy Cross in grade 11. So I have to ask, who's tougher, country kids or city kids?
I'd probably have to go with country kids. Just kind of, I just go with country kids.
You're on the record now, country kids. Okay. You played for Team Saskatchewan under 16 and under 18. You played for Team Canada under 18. What were those experiences like for you playing for the province and for Canada?
It was really just kind of an honor getting to play for Saskatchewan. So U16 was my first time playing 12-man football. I got to play receiver, which was just kind of one of my dreams, getting to play receiver there. And it was just awesome. And then U18 was just a great experience, getting to travel outside of Saskatchewan again. We went to Ontario there, so just kind of a great facility there at Queens, and it was just a really good time. And then Team Canada, that was probably the craziest experience I've had personally, football-wise, so far. And we traveled down to the Cowboys Stadium, played Team USA. We didn't end up winning, but met a lot of great guys, and it was just a super fun experience overall.
Wow, that sounds amazing. That's great. What do you plan to study at school?
So far, I'm just kind of going into arts and science. I'm not too sure what I'm thinking of yet. Just kind of gonna ride the wave and see how it goes for the first couple of years, I think.
Ride the freshman wave. Yeah, that's sounds like a good plan to me. What do you think you'll bring to the Huskies? What do you think you'll bring to the team?
I'm just hoping to bring just another guy they can add to some plays and just get them will help out the guys. And what else am I thinking here? Just kind of be a good guy, be a helpful guy in the locker room, and just stuff like that.
Sounds great. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Nick, we're going to move on to you. Nick Wiebe, inside linebacker. Hometown is Calgary at Okotoks. Is it more Okotoks or Calgary? Okotoks?
Yeah, just south of the city, kind of honestly in between the two. So either one works.
Okay. And then you spent a couple of years in high school in Florida at IMG Academy. You wanted to give yourself a chance to play at a Div 1 level, and you did just that. And you spent the last 3 years playing at the University of Oregon in the NCAA. So I have to ask, what was involved in the decision for you to come to the Huskies?
I actually decided that Canada was going to be the landing spot for me for the day I transferred from Oregon. So it was between a few schools, mainly the hometown school and here. And the minute I got off the plane into Saskatoon, I knew where I wanted to be. Coach Flory and Coach Mazika, I tell this to people all the time. There's no other coach I'd rather play for in the country at this point than Coach Flory and Coach Mazika. So those two were huge in the recruiting process, and I got to meet a couple of the guys in the recruiting process, and they were awesome. And I just felt at home in Saskatoon, and I knew where I wanted to be.
Wow, that is high praise for the coaching and for the city. What do you think was the biggest benefit of playing with the Ducks that you're going to bring to the Huskies?
Just the experience, the speed of the game. I hope I can kind of adapt to the Canadian rules, not being in Canada and playing for 5 years. So hopefully I can get back to the 3 downs and a little bit bigger of a field. So, but I'd say the speed of the game. Hopefully I can translate what I learned, kind of coverage-wise, football IQ-wise, back to the game in Canada and bring the speed that is the Division I game back to. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I have no doubt you'll do it. Delighted to have you. Thanks so much. And finally, last but not least, we have Fin Marcotte-Cribb, defensive back, hometown Regina, went to Sheldon Williams Collegiate. He played junior football with the Regina Thunder for 2 years, Rookie of the Year with them in 2018, also played under 16 for Saskatchewan. What were those experiences like for you?
I think playing for the Thunder was a good route. I think junior football is really underrated in Canada because you can play your first 2 years of junior instead of redshirting, and then you can go straight and get your 5 eligibility years at a university. I thought it was the right route for me, so yeah, I guess it was really good.
Yeah, that sounds like a great experience.
So.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
What positions?
So, I played receiver in high school, and then I wanted to get on the field quick, so I just hopped over to DB, and it worked out well for me. So.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, so you gonna hop around while you're with the Huskies, or you're okay with the DB for now?
I'll play wherever they want me to play.
Okay. What do you plan to study?
I'm going into my 4th year of psychology right now.
Okay.
And then possibly law school. We'll figure that out then.
Oh, wow. Okay. Get to know the criminals' minds and then prosecute them. I have to mention your mom, Fiona, is a former Team Canada triathlete and is in the Saskatoon Hall of Fame. So does she take full credit for your athletic prowess?
I guess she gave me the long legs and like the running ability for sure. Yeah, she's done some crazy things. Yeah, finished. Yeah, before the triathlon was in the Olympic Games, she was in like the Paralympics, all that. She's run a couple Ironmans, done all the crazy stuff. So I guess that's where I get a lot of athletic ability.
Holy smokes! Well, we're gonna have her on the podcast, I think. Does she train? Does she train with you, or do you train with her?
Not with me, no. No, she just swimming, biking, and running.
I was gonna say you could just add that to your repertoire. There's an Olympic sport that they have the swimming, the running, but they have like equestrian and shooting as well. So that probably wouldn't work too well.
Right?
Yeah, you don't want to bring horses on the football field. That's going to get messy. Okay, well, thanks, guys. Wanted to get to know you guys a little bit, and now we're going to open it up, round table. What has this past year been like for all of you in terms of the pandemic? How easy, hard has it been mentally? How has it been being able to train, preparation? What was it like with just the uncertainty of not knowing when things were going to start up again? Daniel, let's go back to you.
I'd say for me, it's been definitely a different year. Starting off high school with no high school football. We had SMF had a league going, so we played some football there. But it was definitely different, like going into class with masks on and not getting to just kind of have that full grade 12 experience, if you know what I mean. And then throughout the year, it's been all right though. Still been able to train and stuff. Luckily, the gyms didn't really close down here in Saskatoon. And like lately with the Huskies, it's been really good getting to train with those guys and getting to know them.
That's good. Yeah, you were saying that you have had plenty of chances so far. You feel pretty comfortable.
Yep. Yeah, it's been been good. I've been getting to train with the guys a lot, just making some new friends, and they've all been really nice to me so far, so it's been great.
That's good. Nick, how about you? What's the experience been like?
It's been a different year for sure. I think the pandemic impacted everybody pretty heavily. Obviously, everybody's staying at home these days. But last year, I was actually fortunate enough the Pac-12 played 6 games. Thankfully, it would have been a tough year without football if I would have had to sit at home in Calgary and just kind of think about what would have been for the season. It would have been a tough deal. But it was really fortunate that we got to play. But yeah, as soon as I've been in Calgary for all summer pretty much, and there were a few outbreaks here and there, and it was just like you're kind of on the edge of your seat, just seeing what would happen. Like if the gym was going to close down, if you had to, if like the mask mandate was going to be on or off, like it was just kind of a pain in the butt just to see sit around and kind of almost feel helpless. And yeah, there were a few times the gym closed down. We had to take a week off or 2 weeks off, and it was just you couldn't really get in the rhythm of training. So it was a tough summer training wise, but yeah, really, really fortunate to play the last season.
Yeah, absolutely. Some reps. Fin, how about you? What was it like for you?
I was in Saskatoon this past year, and like Daniel said, Saskatchewan wasn't too crazy with COVID as it was for a little bit. I think after in November to December, but we were still practicing in the fall. We were still working out, all of that. We had a good program going out, and it's because we got Joel and Scott Flory, and they'll get us in the right position. They'll work everything around it and get us right. So it wasn't we didn't play any games, obviously, but I don't think we got worse at all.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys still had structure and leadership and team get-togethers whenever you could. So I think that probably made a world of difference. Fin, let's go back to you. 3 words to describe your personality.
Let's go confident, funny, and unique. We'll say that.
Oh, I like that. Okay. Nick, how about you?
My nickname growing up, my dad called me Grit all the time, so I'd say that's got to be in there for one of them. More quiet than not, so I'd probably put quiet in there, and I'd put loyalty in for the last one.
Okay, those are great qualities. Daniel, how about you?
I'd go with happy, honest, and hardworking.
All right. Put the 3 of you together, you've got a pretty perfect human there. That's great. Who or what has been the biggest influence on your life so far? Let's go to Nick.
Probably my family. Growing up, my family was always pretty tight knit. I've cousins who are more like siblings. Honestly, they're over all the time, and I'd say my mom and my dad out of the whole family would be the biggest impact on me. Just seeing my dad. He always commuted to Toronto growing up to work and stuff like that, and watching him get up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Monday and go catch a flight to Toronto and work all week and come back on Friday just to spend time with us and watch football with us on weekends was pretty influential just for me, just from a work ethic standpoint, just to learn to get your lunch pail and go to work every day. So I'd say probably my dad from a work ethic standpoint would probably be the biggest impact on my younger years.
Well, I'm sure he's proud of what you're doing now, so that's great. It's paid off. Daniel, how about you?
Yeah, I'd have to go with my family as well. They've just kind of they've always been there for me, and my mom's always been there, help me out with football, and she's just always been at my events, getting me there, and just coming places. And definitely my brother Josh, he kind of got me into football, got me into weightlifting, and he's been just kind of a big part of my life, just forever since I can remember. So I'd say that those 2 for sure.
That's great. And I guess, Fin, you're going to have to say your mom at this point.
I'll say, my mom and dad, because, my mom, she's done everything, and she'll always push me, and just the people that believe in you, so that's always push you and get better.
Absolutely. Besides football, what is your favorite thing to do? And if you all say video games, I'm going to have to dig deeper than that. So, Fin, let's go back to you.
Let's go. I like playing basketball. I like playing a lot of sports, soccer, basketball, anything. I like poker. I like, a bunch of different stuff.
The sport of poker. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Daniel, how about you?
I just probably like the stereotype athlete kind of thing, but I just have to say going to the gym kind of just been a hobby for a while, and just something gets the mind at ease. So
Yeah, great to stay physically active and building muscle in the meantime. And Nick, how about you?
I'd probably have to say playing hockey. Growing up, I played a lot of hockey. It was kind of actually funny in high school. When I went into high school, I kind of decided on a sport to more focus on through high school, and obviously try to hit the next level doing that. And it was down to hockey and football at the end, and it was going to be a tough call. But I'd say, going out on the pond in the winter time and just having fun with the guys, I'd say that's probably my favorite thing to do outside football.
And do you think you chose right so far?
Hopefully, yeah, I'd say so.
I'd say so.
Yeah, I know. You never know what could have been, I guess.
Yeah, you could maybe always go back to it. It sounds like it might be there for you. What is something that you want to be known for in your time as a Husky? Nick, let's go back to you for the final question.
Bringing a couple Vanya's back to Saskatoon, I'd say I'd love to bring some jewelry back to the locker room with the boys, and I think we all play this game to win championships and win games, and I'd love to be on a team that wins a couple. So I'd say that'd be number one.
Awesome. Fin, how about you?
I guess I want to be remembered as a good teammate, and I want to help contribute to the team to win a Vanya for sure.
Awesome. Daniel, last word.
Yeah, I'd say just bringing home a Vanier or two, and just being known as a great teammate as well, and just being a good friend to all the people on the team.
Well, I think I speak for all the fans out there. We're delighted to have you on the team. We are really excited to watch you and see what happens this year. We're excited to have football back in the province of Saskatchewan, football crazy fans, and you guys will be valuable additions, I have no doubt. So thank you so much for being a part of this podcast, and best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I'm joined now by 3 returning players from the Huskies. We have Mason Nyhus, we have Charlie Ringland, and we have Ramsey Derbas. Thank you so much for joining the podcast, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
And welcome back to football officially. So how this is going to work is I'm just going to have a little one-on-one interview with the 3 of you, and then we're going to open it up for roundtable rapid-fire questions. I have prepped them in advance, so they won't be blindsided by anything I ask. That's the best I can promise. So we're going to start with Mason, the quarterback of the team. You're in your 4th year of eligibility. You're from Regina. You went to Riffle. Some of your highlights so far: Canada Cup MVP in 2015, Huskies Offensive Player of the Year in 2019, U Sports Academic All-Canadian 2 years running. So you have been taking business with a focus in marketing, and now you're focusing on education. What do you see as your career path there?
Yeah, so I finished with my business degree last year, and of course had a couple more years of eligibility. So I've always been kind of interested in teaching, coaching football as well. A lot of our coaches are teachers, so I thought that'd be kind of a cool path to go explore a little bit. And I don't know, it opens a lot of doors if nothing else. So yeah, I'm excited for the future.
Absolutely. How would you describe your style as a quarterback?
I'm sure everyone can kind of attest to this. I'm more of a pocket passer for sure. I really like to use my brain, think out there, read defenses, just kind of get the ball to my playmakers. I think that's when our offense is best. We have so many good weapons on offense: Marcotte, Sam Baker, Colin Clausen. If I get the ball into those guys' hands, we're going to be good. So definitely just distributing from the pockets, my style.
So what quarterback would you say is a style that's similar to yours?
Kind of a high praise, but I'd like to say Tom Brady a bit, maybe. Peyton Manning kind of style, stuff like that, for sure.
Good. I mean, reach for the stars. Why not? You listed one of your highlights so far as winning the Hardy Cup in 2018. If you had one highlight that you could replay over and over from that game, what would it be?
I don't even know if it'd be from the game exactly, actually. I think it'd be more afterwards, when we're receiving the medals and the trophies. I remember the starting quarterback at the time, I was actually backing up that game. The starter was Cal Siemens. And there's quite a funny picture of me just screaming in his face, and all the guys are holding up the trophy. And I think that's a pretty fun memory I have with all those guys. So it was pretty special for sure.
And you have the picture in your possession? I
do have the picture in my possession. It's in my bedroom. Actually, I keep it nice and close to me all the time.
Be worth big bucks one day. All right. Thanks,
Exactly.
Mason. Okay, we're going to move on to Ramsey Derbas, linebacker, third year on the team, second of eligibility. Your hometown, Saskatoon, went to Holy Cross. Canada West Rookie of the Year in 2018, Canada West All-Star, Canada Cup Defensive MVP in 2018. What are you currently studying?
I'm currently enrolled in arts and science, but I'm transferring into kinesiology.
Okay. And what's your hope there?
It opens up quite a few doors to just things that I'm interested in. I've thought about doing international med, going kind of in the training industry, but then also kind of something completely different, just being involved in real estate. So I got a few options for sure.
Kinesiology and real estate. Okay. Not sure how you combine that, but I'm intrigued. You're known for being a pretty smart player. Sorry?
Family ties.
Family ties. Okay. You're known for being a pretty smart player. How do you translate the playbook onto the field? How do you visualize that?
Really just reps in practice, I would say. It's just preparation and understanding what you need to do, and then making sure you take those reps seriously in practice, and that's where you get prepared, really.
And what's been your favorite memory as a Husky so far?
I want to say my favorite memories are still to come because we got some unfinished business to do as a team since I've been here. But just a favorite memory of mine was my very first play against Manitoba. I didn't start the game, but I subbed in. The very first play, they RPO'd me, and I had to go one-on-one with Logan Fisher, and he's a Saskatoon guy who played 5 years at Hilltops, and had to meet him in the hole, and that was kind of go time from there on out.
That was sink or swim right off the bat. That's great. Well, that's a good answer. Best is yet to come. I'm sure the coaches would love that answer. Thank you, Ramsey. Charlie Ringland, defensive back, third year of eligibility, your hometown, Winnipeg, which you are, I can see in the background there. You're saying your little brother has some pictures there. So great. So you earned a spot on Team West for the 2022 East-West Bowl roster. So you're considered a top prospect for the 2022 CFL draft, and that's actually a goal of yours. So I have to ask, you're from Winnipeg, you're playing in Saskatchewan, you want to be a Rider or you want to be a Blue Bomber?
I had that question asked lots over the past few months, but I think I'd love to be a Rider, but I think coming back home, playing for my hometown team would probably be one of the big career goal for me, I think. So.
Anybody you don't want to play for?
No. I'll take anywhere I can go. Yeah.
Good. And what are you studying?
I'm in arts and science as well. When I'm done playing football, I plan on going to a fire college and be a firefighter.
Well, I'm sure they will welcome you with open arms there. What is the best thing at the U of S besides the football team?
Besides football team, I'd say the people in Saskatoon. You move from out of home and you go to the city. You don't really know too many people, but you meet everyone really quick. And after I've been here 3 years now, so like after that, you kind of know a lot of people, and there's a lot of great people in the town. So it's nice to be there. It's
kind of a small town feel, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. For sure. All right, thanks, guys. What has this past year been like for all of you? How has the pandemic affected you? How has it affected your training, your preparation? What has that been like for you? Mason, let's start with you.
It's kind of been a whirlwind, honestly. With school, I'll start off. It's been very different just studying from home. It's been kind of nice, I guess, because you can sleep in right to the last second, kind of roll out of bed, get in front of the camera, and go to class. But that's been decent. Training-wise, I think we've done a pretty good job. We're led by Joel Lipinski, who I think we'd all say is a fantastic trainer. We love the guy. And he's always been giving us good regiments, I guess, stuff you could do at home without weights when it was really lockdown time. And so he's kind of kept us in shape that way. The toughest thing for me, at least, is staying in touch with the guys. You you don't see a lot of people for a long time. I know Charlie. I'm now living with Charlie. When he's back in Saskatoon here, but I didn't see Charlie for a full year there. It was quite a long time. So you start to miss some of your friends for sure, but it's just a good feeling being back in the clubhouse.
And Charlie, are you looking forward to living with Mason?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it'll be fun.
How's it been for you? Has the training been harder?
Yeah, I feel like everyone's kind of got their own thing, and Joel's really done a good job, like setting us up with things that we can do. Like no matter what you have, what equipment you have available to yourself, you always will find a way to give you things that you can do and get your work in, no matter where you are or what type of equipment you've got around you. So it's been good.
That's good. And Ramsey, do you say the same? And how has it been mentally as well? You know, with the uncertainty, not really knowing.
Yeah, I would say from like a training aspect, that was kind of the toughest part, was just like staying mentally invested and ready to go, even though you didn't know when things were going to come back to normal or when we would have just football return. But we pretty much, Scott did a great job in making sure we had as much structure as possible through it all. And just getting to be with the guys, with the 8 groups throughout the winter and everything, just still being able to train was like a super big blessing.
Sounds like it. Yeah. Any kind of social interaction, any kind of team unity is probably really helpful during that time. I'll stay with you, Ramsey. Give me 3 words to describe your personality.
I would like to say I'm funny, energetic, and passionate.
Okay. These are good things to be. You have your teammates around, so they're going to call you out if this is not true. Charlie?
Pretty good.
Okay. What would you say, Charlie?
I don't want to copy Ramsey here, but I'd probably say fun. Fun, energetic, and I'd say like exciting. I think I'm normally pretty excited about even like tiny things that are going on. Like I get excited about a lot of stuff, so I'd say that.
That's a great quality to have. That'll carry you throughout life for sure. And Mason, I'm going to guess that you pretty excited guy.
I mean, I like to think so. I'd say pretty energetic, exciting. I don't know. Wow, I have our quarterback coach Jeremy Long just walked in here. He's just giving me the shake my head, saying I'm not exciting. I don't know. Maybe just he gets tired of me on the practice field, I guess sometimes. But I couldn't give you 3, but those would be the big 2 for me, I'd say.
Okay. Who or what has been the biggest influence on your life, Mason?
For me, my dad, for sure. I look up to him. I always have, always will. Just a really good guy, hard work, and I kind of try to model myself after him, for sure.
Awesome. That's great. Charlie?
I'd have to say my mom. We grew up like just me and her for a long time, and she's done a lot of things for my life. So, and she's a strong, independent woman, all that. So I think I'd have to say my mom.
Lovely. Awesome. Ramsey?
Yeah, I definitely have to say my mom too. She's just always there for me and works tirelessly. I strive to be like her.
That's great. Besides football, what is your favorite thing to do? Let's go to Charlie on this one.
Oh man. Besides football, I'd say just hanging out with my friends, especially when I'm back in Saskatoon. I love just, meeting up with the guys, and whether we go golfing in the summer, we go to the outdoor rinks in the winter, anything like that, just being around my friends and hanging with the guys is a big passion of mine.
Yeah. Mason?
Sort of same sort of thing, just being around my friends. I would say probably the biggest thing I enjoy doing with those guys is just golfing. I love getting out on the lake, work at a golf course in the summer, and so that's what I like to do in my spare time for sure.
Okay. What golf course?
I work at Riverside Country Club here in Saskatoon.
Okay. All right. Very nice. Ramsey?
In the summer, my favorite thing to do is to go surfing.
Oh.
Just behind a boat. Yeah.
I was going to say, are there big waves that I'm not aware of somewhere? Okay.
Yeah. No, there's not. Just behind a boat.
And how often do you get to do that?
It honestly varies. I mean, like last snow football, I was able to go more than I ever have in my life. This summer's been a little bit different, but I go pretty much any chance that I can make it work with any skill.
Yeah, sounds good. What is something you wish you knew how to do or you want to learn how to do? Ramsey.
I just always thought it's the coolest thing. I'd like to be able to play the piano.
Okay. Have you started that at all, or just you're putting it on the shelf
I
for now?
haven't started it. Putting it on the shelf. I just think it's super cool.
Classical or rock or anything?
No idea. I just think people who can play the piano look very cool.
I can play the piano, Ramsey, so I guess I'm cool. I'll take that as a compliment. Charlie, what's something you want to learn how to do?
I'd have to say probably like building like decks and stuff like that. Like I think to be able to just go to your house and just build a deck off the back of your house or like a porch or whatever would be super handy and pretty cool skill to have.
Yeah, being handy for sure. Very valuable skill.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. And Mason?
I would probably go with Derbas there too and learn an instrument. I know my old roommate now in the Riders, Nelson Lacumbo there, it'd be 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. trying to sleep, and he'd be in his room playing the keyboard or playing the guitar, always picking up a new thing. And I was annoyed with him at the time, but also probably pretty jealous. He's pretty good, so I'd say picking up an instrument.
Okay, so piano or guitar, or you gonna go way out there?
Yeah, we'll go with those.
Okay, all right.
I mean, the tuba is pretty cool, but I'd probably say piano.
Well, you can handle it from a muscle perspective, so that's one thing. All right, finally, what is something that you want to be known for as your time here at the Huskies? Mason, let's go back to you for the final question.
I'd probably say being a good leader and a good teammate. Those two mean a lot to me. I think being a good leader, I take pride in that. Being the quarterback, being a veteran guy on the team, leading by example, always watching film, always being in workouts, being energetic on the field. Those are big things I want to be remembered for, and then always being a good teammate. When guys are down or guys are struggling or whatever it may be, they can always come to me. And I'm always ear to listen to and just stuff like that. So definitely those for sure.
Love that. That's great. Ramsey?
Yeah, I would like to be remembered as someone who just always gave it their all and put their best foot forward every single day. Just strive to be the best that they could, and definitely being a good teammate. Just being a positive attitude. People can look back and be like, "Oh, he was a positive guy." That I feel like I did my job.
That's very admirable. Great. And Charlie?
I'd have to say kind of a mix of both. I want to be known as definitely a great teammate. I feel like I'm pretty good friends with most guys on the team, and I'll always chat their ear off. They can come chat with me, stuff like that. And then also want to be known as a person who never took their foot off the gas. Always, every play, didn't matter how tired you were or anything. You're always run as fast as you can, doing the right things, and just always doing the best you can at the end of it.
Yeah, and I think you guys already probably know that the friendships you're making on this team will last your entire lives. So the things that you're doing now are going to follow you forever, and that's so great. Thank you guys. So nice to see you. So nice to get a chance to talk to you. Best of luck this season, and I think I speak for everybody when we're going to be super excited to watch you and watch you the rest of the way and see you do great and exciting things. So thanks so much, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Next up on the show, we have Marshall Toner, and Marshall is a U of S alum who played several sports during his time with the U of S, mainly football, but he also excelled running track. After university, he played for the Calgary Stampeders, and he still works in Calgary. And Marshall's going to tell us more about the starting 24 and what that is all about.
My name is Marshall Toner, and I am a U of S engineering grad, class of 86, and I'm also a graduate of the University of Saskatchewan football team. My years there were 1981 through 1985. The impact of playing football for the Huskies in the beginning was a avenue to allow me to continue to play a game that I was very passionate about. And then that evolved into an opportunity and a mechanism to have a 6-year career in the CFL with the Calgary Stampeders. But most importantly, what playing with the University of Saskatchewan Huskies, what it did for me was instill and foster variables and attributes that really helped me not only be on the football field, but really through my life and business career. I'm a big believer of supporting and giving back to institutions or organizations that helped get me to where I am in life. And I think that the Starting 24 is a very unique and cost-effective and economical way for many people to be involved in helping the University of Saskatchewan continue its winning traditions and excellence into the future.
Thank you, Marshall, and thank you so much for tuning in for episode 2 of the Huddle Up with the Huskies podcast. And just a reminder that we created this to try and replace some of the main fundraising activities that were lost during the pandemic, most notably the Dog's Breakfast. So we thank you very much for your support of the team, and we really appreciate you tuning in. Please join us for the next one on October 13th. Episode 3, we will be at the halfway point of the season, and we have more exciting guests making an appearance. So until then, thanks for watching, and go Huskies.